Hey guys, what's up? In today's video, we're going to be talking about losing motivation. So usually by the end of the year, a lot of us are super hyped, okay? Like it's like 2020 versus 2019. 2019 is ending, everybody's excited, everybody's hyped, this year went by and you didn't do half of the things that you plan to do, and 2020 is going to be the year that you're going to kill it, except it's January 2020 already, it's almost the end of January and you're in a slump. You're not doing anything, you're so demotivated and you don't know why. In this video, I'm going to be sharing exactly some of the things that I am doing to keep me on my feet and that help me keep going. And I'm also going to be sharing 3 key things that you need to do so that you stop finding yourself in that situation where you're constantly losing motivation. Okay? Let's get into it. I got this email from somebody, her name is Uchu, and she was just talking about how she feels that she's not been working on some of her goals, how frustrating it has been for her. And then I got this comment on my page as well by Ella, and she's also sharing her frustration as regards to the things that she wanted to do with her year and with her month that she's not doing yet. Realize that for all of those people, the big question is, how do I execute on the things that I need to execute on? Because right now I have lost motivation. Before I get into talking about the tips and things that have helped me, I just want to start by first saying that it is totally normal what you're going through. Okay, I experience it too. A lot of the people that you see online who are winning or who look like they are winning experience it too. When the negative voices in your head spring up comparison, just remind yourself that you're human and you're figuring it out, because all of us deal with this lack of motivation. The difference between those of us who go on to achieve these things that they want to achieve and the people who don't is all of those people experience it. They just have learned how to show up regardless of how they feel and push past beyond the lack of motivation that they have. All of that being said, here are some of the things that have helped me and continue to help me to show up and keep pushing past. The very first thing is making sure that what I'm struggling with is actually a lack of motivation. So sometimes when you feel like what you're dealing with is a lack of motivation, it could be that you're dealing with something else. For example, last year in June, I struggled so much with showing up in my business and showing up for my career, because the more I tried to show up, the more I found myself just feeling drained and feeling I don't know, like it just was not working. I'll be creating content or working in my business and I will be crying. Okay, that was happening to me a whole lot. The only time that things started to change for me was after I pulled back and I decided I was not going to do any work. I was just going to calm down and try to figure out exactly what the problem was and why I was struggling so much to show up for my goals. And what I found out was that I was working on something that I didn't want to be working on anymore. So the things I was doing at the time they were taking me in a direction that I didn't want to be going anymore. It just got clearer to me that I was way past just putting out content on Instagram and I wanted to do more, which is why I launched HelloFounder eventually, because that is exactly what I wanted to do. Help people launch businesses and teach early stage entrepreneurs some of the skills that I have gained that could help them achieve some of the goals that they are trying to achieve. So you want to make sure first and foremost that what you're struggling with is actually a lack of motivation and not something else. It could be that you really hate the task that you're trying to handle. It could be that this, it's not in line with your purpose or your vision. It could be that you're not eating well, okay? Because when you don't eat well and you don't sleep well, you will struggle with motivation. Eventually, you're going to burn out and you're going to be depleted. It could be a lot of different things. Don't just summarize that what you're struggling with is a lack of motivation. Dig deep first and start to find out whether this is a lack of motivation or something else. And if you're wondering what that digging deep process looks like, it looks like just sitting down and just talking to yourself and asking yourself questions, which will bring me to the second point, is I ask myself why. Okay, so I ask myself, Diamond, why are you feeling this way? Why are you lacking motivation? Why are you struggling to show up? Why are you struggling to execute? Why are you lacking inspiration? And the minute I start to ask myself why, I start to get a lot more answers when I'm being really honest with myself and I'm being open to listen to myself speak. So what listening to myself looks like is I usually do a mind dump in my journal. So I just pull out my journal and I write down my thoughts after I ask myself that question. or I just ask myself the question and I lay down and I just think, okay, like it's just clear mind and just allow my intuition to speak to me. And every single time I do this, whether I do it over a period of a month, whether I do it over a period of a week, it doesn't matter how long it takes, I always eventually get my answers. So what I would suggest is do a mind dump, okay? If you want to journal your thoughts, or put them down on paper. As you continue to do a mind dump and journal, after asking yourself the question, the answers will come to you as you listen to yourself and you write down your thoughts. Also, try to take yourself to quiet places, whether it's going on a simple quiet date at the beach or at the aquarium, like any gardens, like very calm places. Allow your spirit to soothe itself, and the answers that you're looking for will definitely come to you. The third thing that I do is I procrastinate on purpose. What I mean by procrastinating on purpose is when I feel myself lacking motivation or lacking inspiration, I decide to stop resisting. So I drop everything that I want to be doing at the time. Assuming this is happening to me around 9 a.m., I set my alarm to 1 p.m. and I tell myself once it's 1 p.m. I'm going to get up and I'm going to start doing the things that I need to do. So I could go watch a movie or hang out with my friends or read a book or just like procrastinate everything that I need to do. And once it is 1 p.m., my timer goes off. I use the 5-second rule, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 by Mel Robbins. And I get myself up and just going in the direction of exactly whatever it is that I need to do. So procrastinating on purpose works for me. It may not work for everyone, but it just helps me get out of a slump and just get going. Third thing that I do in practice is I watch the videos of the people that I admire and just watch their interviews, and I listen to podcasts of all of these people, and listening to them sometimes just helps me kick into the spirit of trying to do the things that I need to do. A podcast that I really love listening to when I'm in the mood and it's like that is what I need is Guy Raz, How I Built This. So I listen to Guy Raz, How I Built This, and I listen to other people talk about how they build all those successful companies. And by listening to them and their success stories, I just get this kick out of the fact that they were able to do it, and it just inspires me sometimes to take action. Watching videos also really helps. So I could go and watch the video of Morgan DeBorn or Emily Weiss or Myleik, or Mayelius, or any of those women that I absolutely admire and I love what they're building. And by watching the videos, I'm inspired to get back into the work process, because if they could do it, then so can I. So think about all of the people that inspire you, find them on YouTube. If you're in a slump and you're feeling unmotivated, try watching the interviews, watch a day in the live videos of some of those people, and you could actually get motivated and inspired just by watching them do what they are doing. The fifth thing that helps me is watching day in the life videos of other people who are trying to build their dream life. So the fourth one is the people who have already done it. The fifth one is I watch videos like Get Productive with Me or Day in the Life of other people in the process of building their their dream lives rather. So for example, I binge watch a lot of Erin on Demand videos. Okay, so Erin on Demand is one of the women on YouTube who I absolutely love. She's so inspiring. So I binge watch her day in the life videos, and just listening to her doing her own thing kind of pushes me to do my own thing. I don't know how that works for other people, if it works for other people, but it definitely works for me. What I would suggest is try searching a Get Productive with Me video or a day in the life video of an entrepreneur or of whatever career you're trying to build, and you find other people who are just like you, who are trying to make it happen, and you can really gain inspiration from just listening to them talk about their day and go through their day and run the errands that they need to run. The sixth thing that helps me get through when I don't feel any motivation are the people around me. So currently I live with my very close friend, and she's also my colleague. My friend is a hustler, okay? Because even as we're working on the company and doing other things to grow the business and do our everyday jobs, we also need to have side hustles, because we're not really being paid a lot of money to just sit on our arms and depend on our salaries. Watching her try to build the dream life that she wants for herself, watching her hustle all the way to millionaireship and multimillionaireship, it just makes me really inspired to show up for my own thing, okay? So I have two very close friends, my sister Summer and my closest friend Ify. And Summer is the founder of Bo and Joe Beauty, and Ify is the founder of By Annie. Now, these two people are so inspiring for me, and watching them just wake up every day and hustle their way and push their way through to their goals inspires me to want to push my way through to my goals. So look at the people that you're surrounded by. Are they pushing you by their lifestyle and life choices and what they do on an everyday basis? Are they pushing you to show up for your own dreams? Are they pushing you to be your absolute best self? Because if you're not doing that in their lives and you're hanging around them a lot, energy is transferable. Okay, you transfer energy from person to person. I'm surrounded by people who don't have any ambition. The simple truth is, I would at some point catch the ambitionless bug. So you've got to mind the kind of people that you're surrounded by and just try to surround yourself with people who are inspiring, which is where the earlier points that I mentioned, which is watching videos of people who have done what you're trying to do, successful people and their interviews, and then having and watching day in the life videos or Get Productive with Me videos of other people like you who are also trying to build their dream life. This is where all of that comes in. So just in case you're surrounded by a lot of people who don't inspire you and whose lifestyle just weakens you, this is another way to just be on lockdown and make sure that the information and the people that you're surrounding yourself with in your mind are people that are inspiring you to be your absolute best self. The next thing that I'll mention is I try to get at least one thing done. So usually through the day, I would, make a list of 3 things that I absolutely have to get done in a day. And I find that when I don't make this list, I would write like a long list of all the things I need to do in a week. And I find that I often get overwhelmed when I do that. So instead of doing that, I have learned to write my top 3 things. It was also inspired by Earn on Demand. And when I can't write my top 3 things, I do something called OTA. So one thing at a time. So I call it OTA. And it's just me picking one thing that I need to do and I get started on that thing. Because the truth is, when you're feeling down and in a slump, if you get into action, it will shock you that you find yourself just doing more things after that one thing. So for example, even though I'm not really in the mood to be shooting a video, I have promised myself that Thursdays are a YouTube video day. Plus, I have a sponsored brand video that I have to ship out by the end of today to the company. So I'm just pushing myself to shoot this video. Now, here's the thing. This is the only thing that I want to do today. Just shoot videos and go to bed. Now, if I don't do anything else today, I have some energy reserved in me for tomorrow. I don't know how, but it works. Another part to this is if I do this one thing, I could find myself just doing more things. So when I'm done with this video, I would find myself with a lot more energy to do the next thing that I need to do on my list. What I'm trying to say, or what I'm teaching you, is when you're feeling in a slump and you're lacking motivation, don't try to make a to-do list. Don't try to list out all the things that you haven't done that you need to get done. Pick one thing, okay? Just pick one thing only that you have to do and go do that one thing for now. And if you're done with that thing and you don't have any energy to keep going, that's okay. Get back in your sheets and sleep. And if you do that one thing and you feel like you have a little bit of energy to keep going, go and rest. Take a rest for like 25 minutes. Take a quick nap. And then try again at one more thing that you have to do. And your process of just doing one more thing and one more thing and one more thing can eventually lead to you doing 3-4 things by the end of the day. If you're unmotivated, don't try to push yourself too hard. Try doing one thing, and that one thing can just be a gateway to doing other things. The next point I'm going to make is whenever I feel unmotivated, I also use a method called the Pomodoro technique. So if you don't know yet, the Pomodoro technique is when you use a 25 minutes period for a task or activity. So you turn on your alarm and then you set it to 25 minutes. And for that 25 minutes period, you're basically going to be working. And once that period is off, you turn it off again and you take like a 15 minutes break to 30 minutes break. And then you come back and you do another 25 minutes. And what this kind of does for me is the minute I start working, sometimes I end up working past 25 minutes. I just keep going. I just continue to show up and I do not stop. Okay, it's like just starting that process inspires you to keep going and not want to quit. So I would suggest you try out the Pomodoro technique just to see how it goes or if anything comes of it. Mel Robbins often said the fastest way to get in the process of doing something is to start. Even if it means just doing a 25-minute task process every hour, that is enough to just get you going. And usually what happens is you find that you continue to just show up afterwards. The next thing that I do when I honestly don't feel any motivation is I pull a self-care day, okay? So a self-care day would mean, for example, I decide that Sundays I'm just going to be in a slump. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to lay in bed, watch Netflix or any of the movies. If you really feel like you're struggling to push forward and you've asked yourself why and you get the message back, you need some rest, you need to pull back, please do pull back and don't keep trying to push forward. Give yourself 1 or 2 days off, pull a self-care period, and it will shock you that sometimes when you do that, you just get the inspiration to come right back on track and try again. I know that somebody watching this would be like, a self-care day is so millennial, or it is an excuse to be lazy. I get that, I hear you, and maybe it is, but for me it works sometimes to sort of like give me the strength to keep going and to show up. So these are some of the things that I do that help me show up even when I'm feeling unmotivated or tired or not just in the mood. These are some things that have always been really, really helpful for me. So in this post on my Instagram handle, I actually share a bunch of podcasts that I listen to that keep me going. I'm also going to link that post in the description box below and you can go and watch it. I'm also going to link this post where I share 11 productivity techniques that you should take advantage of that will help you keep going and execute the things that you need to execute on a regular basis. I will link it down in the description box because it's also a post that would help you a lot be productive and push past even when you're not feeling super motivated. I hope this video has been really helpful. Snap out of feeling bad for yourself. Snap out of feeling that, oh, other people are pushing hard and doing the things that they say they're going to do and I'm not doing that. No. Being your worst critic is not going to help you. So don't do that to yourself. I used to do that to myself and I still do that to myself sometimes. And I'm learning that, oh, that's just time I'm wasting giving myself medicine that will not cure the disease, okay? So I decided that whenever I start getting this thought like other people are being productive, I immediately remind myself, well, honey, you've also had your productive times. And all of those people who look like they're being productive, I don't know or see them when they're in a slump. I don't see how they handle things when they are in a slump. So who the hell am I to judge them? Thank you so much for watching. If you don't know and you're new here, my name is Diamond and I am trying to build a successful company called HelloFounder. My background story is all up in my description below. All the details about HelloFounder is in the description box below. So click it and get more information. Thank you for watching. If you love this video, give it a thumbs up, okay? And if you really want to get more videos like this and be a part of my journey, hit the subscribe button. I'll be so happy to have you here. And if you don't want to, it's okay. I still appreciate you being here. Thank you. Have a great day, afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world.